Hi everyone, good evening. Welcome to my show, Expat Chat. I'm your hostess, Huang Fang Elizabeth. Well, you can remember last week I have two doctors coming to see me free of charge, and they share with us some kind of good advice on health. And tonight, we're gonna show some healthy food information, but not for us, for our pets. Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet Tom and Jessica. Say hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Thank
Tell us where you are from, Tom.
Okay, currently resident in Australia. Originally I came from England. Back in 1980 I emigrated to Australia and now live in a little town on the outskirts of Sydney, between Sydney and the Blue Mountains. Yeah.
So, which city will you call it your hometown?
Sydney.
Sydney, your
The
hometown.
home of the 2000 Olympics.
Oh, of course. So proud. And Jessica?
I live in a place near Sydney and the Blue Mountains called Richmond, in Australia, with Tom. Yeah, my parents are from Chinese, and my stepfather, Tom, is from UK.
He said that
but live
before.
in Australia.
Well, you have already said that because people will a little bit confusing that, an adult and a teenager as my guest is not so common in my show. Your relationship is daughter and stepfather?
Yes.
What do you call him at home?
Well, I call him by
Dad.
name,
Tom. You just call him Tom.
Yeah.
And what do you call her?
Jessica.
Jessica?
Yeah, mostly I call her a good girl too.
A good girl. Not little princess or darling little or sweetheart.
No, I think Jessica works well. Yeah.
Jessica, are you two getting along together quite well at the moment?
Yeah, very good.
Very good. Do you think Tom is a good father?
Yeah, he's okay.
Okay. You said, yeah, he's okay. Oh, Tom.
Well, quiet understatement there. I think that's appropriate. Thank you, Jessica.
Well, so polite. Oh, for most of the girls, they would think that father is their hero or idol. Jessica, is Tom your idol or hero?
Yeah, he's sort of.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, he was the one that knew which diet was best for dogs. And he was the first one, so yes.
You just
think
admire him?
Yeah.
He just knows so much about it.
Yeah, we have a pretty informal relationship though as well, and that's good. Yeah, so we're good friends, as much as being father and daughter, I think. And that seems to work well. And of course, there's the three of us. Jessica's mother, myself, and Jessica live together, and yeah, it's highly informal, and it works wonderfully.
That's great for you.
Yeah.
Is it your first time in China?
Second time.
Second time.
Came last Easter with Gia, and yeah, we had a good time. We met the in-laws and her sister and brother-in-law and
the
good friends.
Big families, huh?
Yeah. And again, this time we've been here for a couple of weeks.
So you just pay the visit here once a year, Jessica?
Yes.
To pay the visit to your relatives and grandparents here? Do you ever have the idea that I'm going to live here in Guangzhou?
We talk about it. And I guess there's always that possibility. We come back and we spend quite a bit of time here this time.
How long this time?
Well, this time just 2 weeks. But
2 weeks.
It's not just a fleeting visit. We are actually living here, as it were. And that's not out of the question as we get older. I don't know that we'd stay all the year here. And the in-laws recommend that we don't spend too long here in the summertime. They think winter's better. I think they're right.
I think autumn is the best season in Guangzhou. Yeah. Do you think so, Jessica?
I think so too.
Do you like to, live in Guangzhou for a long time?
Not really.
Not really.
In the summertime it's too hot and in the winter's too cold.
Winter too cold? We don't have snow here. No, we don't. Winter is too cold for you in comparison with the climate in Australia. Yeah. Okay, and let's talk a little bit about your career, Tom. What is your occupation at the moment?
Well, these days I guess I call myself a researcher and a campaigner.
Wow.
But I was trained as a vet. So back in 1972 I graduated from London University as a vet. And then I spent some years working for other people, travelling. I was a photographer for a time.
Oh.
I just generally enjoyed life in those early years. Then went to Australia, as I mentioned, in '81 and set up a small string of veterinary clinics. And
you have your own vet clinic?
Yeah, I had 4 at the peak and people working for me.
Wow. And
we were very busy, and it was a lot of fun, and we were learning. And that went on until 1997. From 1997 until the present time, I've been busy writing books and lecturing and writing articles, campaigning for what now we see as better health for the pets. Previously, I didn't realize, but all the pets were sick as a result of eating junk food.
What happened after 15 years in your field that made you realize that something goes wrong with the diet?
Well, it wasn't an instant light bulb moment. It took time. Gradually the realization built up that all these animals had a shocking bad breath.
Oh.
Nearly all of the patients had bad teeth. And gums. So they were rotting at the front end. Now previously we'd taken that for granted. There's a word in English, or as a phrase, dog breath.
Dog breath.
Yeah, right.
That's how it comes.
Meaning, that it's foul, it's offensive. And it was just generally assumed that all dogs would automatically have foul-smelling breath. And I'd grown up with that idea. I'd been taught that at the university. I'd come to accept it as normal.
Oh.
But gradually we woke up to the fact that, of course, it wasn't normal, and they shouldn't all have rotting teeth and gums by the time they're 4 or 5 years of age. At about that time, the medical instrument companies started to sell very expensive dental machinery.
Oh.
And they started to say, look, you can get rich quick treating the bad teeth and gums of all your patients. Don't miss this opportunity to... Yes, indeed. This was the sales line.
Wow.
And we started to think this one through and think, well, how about the wolves? How about the tigers, the lions, the leopards, the panthers? We went down that route and we started to look at what it is that the animals eat in the wild, and of course they eat whole carcasses of other animals. We didn't initially have whole carcasses. We didn't have rabbits and kangaroos and goats to feed our animals, not initially, so we started with bones. And we started feeding meaty bones once a week.
Oh.
It didn't fix the mouths. They needed to have, we tried twice a week. 3 times a week. It still was not enough. It was not until we were feeding them virtually every day on what they naturally should eat that we started to get the cleaning up of the teeth and the gums. And we started to understand. Because the raw meaty bones, or the whole carcasses, act as toothbrush and dental floss as well. You get the wash, scrub and polish as they eat.
As they eat in the meanwhile.
Not after they eat. You see, you and I, we eat processed food, don't we?
Yeah.
In order to compensate at least once a day,
toothbrushes
and the dental floss.
Dental floss, yeah.
At least once a day. The animals don't have that. But they do have that opportunity to wash, scrub and polish, as I say. Now, if they were a wild animal, for instance, a lion, it would be pulling down a big buffalo, or even an elephant, sometimes a hippopotamus. Really, that is their dental floss. That is their toothbrush, as well as their food. And if we can get that idea across to people, if they just do that, they say, right, this is dental floss and toothbrushing time, folks, come and get it. So they're getting their food as well as their tooth cleaning, then they're getting essential benefits. And that's what keeps the animals healthy. Because, of course, the other important thing here is it's not just a bad smell and an inflamed mouth that's a worry. It's all the other consequences.
Oh, for the whole system.
For the whole system. Because from there, the poisons get carried round through the bloodstream, through the lymphatics, to the liver, the kidneys, the heart. They affect the immune system. And so these animals are going on a steady downhill slope as a consequence of having a shocking bad mouth.
This is just one of the consequences.
One of the consequences, but it's a prime consequence. And we woke up
What
to
is
that
the
fact.
worst?
That's probably the worst.
So what is so bad about on the commercial foods, the canned foods and dog foods?
Well, it's junk food.
Junk
Food. And so we know that a steady diet of junk food is bad for us. It's perhaps even worse for our pets. Mind you, they don't show it, and they don't have a voice, so they can't speak about it.
Yeah, they just suffer the great
Suffer in
loss.
silence. Yeah.
Oh, poor pets. So what would you recommend our owners should pick the right thing for the pets?
Okay, well, ideally they think this one through a bit themselves. Think out what their pussycat would be eating in the wild. It would be eating mice and rats.
So many, yeah.
So many small things, and it would be lying in wait for birds. So
Anything they can catch.
Anything they can catch.
Yeah.
Yeah, of that size. They wouldn't go up and catch an ostrich or an emu, or they wouldn't catch a cow, but they would catch a rabbit. They like rabbit very much.
Yeah.
They would catch a quail, they'd catch a pigeon, they'd catch a rat, a mouse. Some would scoop fish out of the water. So that's the sort of thing. So pussycats, feed them whole animal, whole carcasses. And let's face it, if you kept cats in a zoo, if you kept wild cats, for instance, desert cats, or spotted cats, or some of the small cats in a zoo, what would you feed them? Rats, mice, rabbits, quail, pigeons, that sort of thing.
But at home, I think that's not practical.
Yeah, increasingly it is. It is. It's surprising. I mean, you can go to the supermarket and get live fish. You can get live...
Not rats, fish.
Not at the moment. No, that's right.
Yeah.
But otherwise, chicken necks or chicken wings would be very good. Or
chicken
fish,
neck and chicken wings for
that sort of thing. Let them gnaw the meat off. Massage their teeth and gums and floss and clean. That's the pussycats. The same for your small dogs. Now let's redefine what we mean by dogs. We call them dogs, but perhaps we'd be better off calling them house wolves.
House wolves.
Wolves. W-O-L-V-E-S.
Are you saying that inside our tamed pets,
there's
there's a wolf?
Absolutely. They're only modified on the outside, but the inner workings are the same as a wolf. So feed them accordingly. Now, if you've got a big dog, you've got a Great Dane or a German Shepherd.
What would the wolf take?
Yeah, what would the wolf take?
Yeah.
So it would take a goat, it would take a deer. If it happened across a duck or a chicken or a goose or found a fish, it would eat that.
Wow, that's a great lot.
Sure, that's the ideal. Fortunately, we don't have to get things exactly right.
Yeah.
Well, look, I mean, if we can feed junk food, which is extremely bad, then surely something a little bit less ideal is going to be okay, and that's true. So you can feed meaty bones. For instance...
Raw meaty bones.
Raw meaty bones. You get that part right, make sure it's in big pieces so that your dog has to spend a long time chewing.
How big?
Well, depending on the size of your modified wolf. If you've got a very small modified wolf, then you might feed it on chicken frames.
Is it half size or 1/3 size of your pet, or...
Okay.
Oh, here it comes.
Quantity-wise.
the food for the wolf.
Okay.
For the inner wolf.
For the inner wolf, okay.
Well, actually, I would have to say that, well, it looks like something we eat.
Exactly right.
Right?
So these...
Chicken, pork, and fish.
No, this is still chicken. This is a chicken carcass. After the meat's been taken off for human consumption, you can get those for about $4 a kilo or thereabouts.
At the supermarket?
At certain supermarkets.
Yeah.
You see where the meat's been taken off? A human ate that. But on there's still plenty of meat, and that's very good for your pussycat, little dog, or even big dogs can eat that. But if you're feeding your big dog on that, he'll...
That's not enough.
Yes, that's probably enough for a day for a Labrador, or a small German Shepherd would only need one of those per day.
One of those per day?
Yep. But that wouldn't be sufficient tooth cleaning. So I would suggest that you give half a pig's head.
Oh, half a pig's head.
Half a pig's head, but that's cheap by comparison with junk food. Don't forget to feed your big dogs on fish. Now, these fish can be had for about $10 a kilo. Okay, so you pay about $10. Half a kilo would be plenty for a big dog. So it would cost you
about $5
a day. The same applies here. Now, look, when we got this bird, It was live, complete with feathers and all. Okay.
Oh, you got it live at the market?
At the supermarket.
Do you think it's safe to do it?
Oh, absolutely. This is fresh as you can get. Perfect.
With the hair and...
Yeah, indeed. And of course, a wolf doesn't have anybody there to pluck the feathers off. He has to.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you gonna feed your dog with all the hair or the
Yes,
fur?
yeah, for sure. And lots of people just do that. They just say, "There you go," and then the dog learns how to. Could you pass that towel, please?
Okay, Jessica.
Jessica,
wow.
Thank you.
She's a good assistant for you.
That's absolutely right. Yeah, she's learning.
Is she helping you doing some this kind of assistant job in your lab or in your clinic?
She helps with lectures and with demonstrations.
Oh, you help with the lectures.
Yeah. She helps usher people in. She takes and shows them the books, and you can see in here. There's a little dog carrying a chicken complete with feathers. Can you see?
Yeah, this one. Yeah.
Okay, 16 weeks of age. Look how healthy and happy it looks.
6 weeks. Oh.
16 weeks. 16 weeks. Okay. So that's the sort of thing. And here you can see pictures of dogs eating. This is our dog at home. This is Jed when he's 6 weeks.
Oh,
and here he is at a year of age.
Well, this is 6 weeks and this year of age.
Yeah.
And you just fed him with raw meaty bones.
Raw meaty bones.
Natural foods.
Whole fish, whole chickens, oxtail, kangaroo tails.
Wow.
That sort of thing. In big pieces. So he was really gnawing and massaging.
Yeah, look at him. Well, he's eating a fish that is larger than his size.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's the sort of thing. Now, okay, that's more than he can eat today, so what we might do is let him eat as much as he likes, take away the rest, put it in the fridge, and give it to him again tomorrow.
Ah. Yeah,
So
you can give your pet a try to see what is his favorite. Huh?
Yeah, well, absolutely.
Oh, it sounds like feeding a baby.
Sure, but I tell you what, as soon as you start to see how happy and healthy the animals are, then people become evangelists. They become promoters of this. They tell all their friends, and they love to hear the crunch, because, of course, the dogs get so much satisfaction going crunch, crunch, crunch.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
And it's wonderful, and it brings you back in touch with nature. And people then start to say, aha, if this is so good for their dog's diet, so good for their cat's diet, then what about themselves?
Yeah.
And so often, people then start to improve their own diet and that of their children. So it's a general uplifting effect.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So actually what we are talking about is to find the right food, the smart way to feed your pets and your baby.
Well, that's right. We can start to use this information. I'm not suggesting that you go out and feed the family the chicken.
Yeah?
No.
For babies, not raw.
No. But we can certainly learn from this, because we start to see maybe that we've been calling the junk food food. Now we see this more as food and medicine, both things.
Food and medicine.
Food and medicine combined, and toothbrush and dental floss combined. It does all of these things. It's very important. And for half the price.
And for half the price.
We've got some junk food here.
Yeah, some junk food. Oh, but I'm sorry to say that maybe this junk food, they smells fragrant than its raw food.
Well, that's it. That's what they do to make it addictive.
Oh,
that's why. So these are the doom nuggets, and this is the death rattle.
Death rattle.
Of the stuff. But look at this stuff here. Now, how does an animal clean its teeth eating that stuff?
So just some meat mash?
Yeah, and they suck that down in 2 seconds flat. Whereas think of the satisfaction they'd get from chewing on this and the difference. Price-wise, $20 a kilo.
How to store them at home? If you have big pets or at home you need a lot of these raw materials, put them in the fridge?
In the fridge. But that's right. But this bird was live, and so fish was swimming in the tank. You can get it as fresh as that if you like, at half the price of the junk food. If you want to store it, well, in the refrigerator, or for a longer period and bigger quantities, well, maybe a freezer. It depends on how many animals you have, of course. interestingly, I mean, if you drive a car, a lot of people, who've got a car, they put the right fuel in the tank.
Yeah.
You have to put the right fuel in the tank every time. We're lucky in a sense with the cats and dogs. We don't have to give them the right fuel every time.
Every meal.
Not every meal, no. Which is good for us. But it's best to do it most of the time.
Most of the time.
Yes.
Okay, for most of the owner, we know what to pick for our pets now. How can we get some further right information about this healthy food?
Okay, well, books and internet. I think those are the places to go. Internet perhaps first.
Something like this.
And you'll
like
find
this.
both
Raw meaty bones.
Raw meaty bones. It gives you the full story. And this other one is more recent, and this is the easy one to understand and read. Work wonders.
With cartoons and pictures. And
Feed your dog raw meaty bones. That's right. And there's one particular cartoon I like in here. If I could just.
One particular.
Yeah, and there's the poor old man with the poor old dog struggling along, feeling so ill.
If you don't want to be like this and you don't want your dog to be like this, you know what to do now.
That's right.
Can you name some of your favorite dishes in Chinese cuisine?
Oh dear. Well, I like Sichuan dishes, so yeah.
Oh, that's spicy hot.
Yes, as hot as they come. Yeah. Otherwise, Peking duck, of course. Roast goose is delicious. We had some drunk prawns one time, and look, I know it's perhaps a bit hard on the prawns, but I enjoyed them very much. Pigeon, did I say? That was delicious.
Yeah, pigeon.
Don't like sea cucumber.
What about sea cucumber?
No.
No, thank you. So what's your favorite, Jessica?
I like the more, not really sea cucumber, like Tom. I like the dumplings.
Dumplings.
The fried rice. The chicken. The goose.
Steamed chicken? Steam?
Yeah.
Yeah, steam. What else?
We had a good lunch today, didn't we? That was tomatoes.
Eating
and egg.
out or at home?
Grandma's cooking.
Oh, Grandma's cooking.
Yeah.
So, what's Grandma's flavor?
She just does some very delicate and simple meals, and we all sit round with the chopsticks, which is all really quite interesting for me. And there was buffalo meat in one dish today, tomatoes
buffalo.
and egg, and noodles.
And noodles.
Snack beans.
Yes.
Snack beans. Huh? So what would you like to do with your grandparents here?
Well, I play chess with them. Not Chinese chess.
And not Chinese?
I play cards with them. And sometimes after meals we go out to have a walk.
Have a walk?
We talk.
Talk?
Yeah.
About what? Telling your story back in Australia?
Yeah, sometimes.
So you are having a happy time here in Guangzhou, right?
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So what's your future plan, Jessica?
Well, I will always still love music and love dogs. I will always feed my dogs raw meaty bones.
That's good.
And I'll always support Tom.
Yeah, always support Tom.
Good on you.
Well,
As we say
do
in
you
Australia.
ever heard that from Jessica?
Yes. She's a great supporter, and indeed the future lies with the young, of course. And so she's the hope for the future. She and her peers and colleagues, and luckily we've got quite a few young people interested in this whole concept of how to feed carnivores appropriately, and not only from the point of view of looking after their own pets, but also from their science careers, their medicine careers, and so on. There's a lot of scope in this. And so it's just terrific that Jessica comes with me to lectures and seminars.
Yeah, you get a good
out.
assistant there.
Yeah. And,
Jessica, would you just follow Tom's footsteps to be a vet?
No. I'm not really interested being a vet, but
What would you like to do?
Well, I'd like to be a doctor.
A doctor.
A singer.
A singer! Yeah, you can do that. You look so sweet and your voice is so great.
She's got a good singing voice. Yeah, and she accompanies herself on the piano. So maybe you'll see her on the screen one day and playing the piano.
Would you like to do a little bit now?
Not really.
Not really? Okay, we're waiting to see the singer Jessica or the doctor Jessica in the future.
Or why not both? The singing doctor.
Singing doctor. Yeah, you sing for your patients to cure them. That's a good idea. Yeah. So Tim, what's your future plan?
More of the same, I think. Just trying to get this good health message out. Writing maybe another couple of books. We've got more seminars. We're doing an interactive online seminar later in September. And indeed your viewers might be able to sign up for that. So they can go to www.rawmeatybones.com, go to speaking engagements, scroll down and find out how they can go online and interact in an interactive seminar. We're wanting to do some documentary films. And of course we want to do a lot of research, and we want to be talking to governments and World Health Organizations and all of those big organizations to do with the good health, not only of pets, but of the community at large.
Yeah, so that's a long way to go for you then.
Look, there's so much to do.
Are you going to devote the whole life on that?
Well, yes. Yes, it's just so uplifting, so inspiring. And I'm meeting so many interesting people. Coming to TV interviews such as this, which is really exciting. Yeah, I mean, you know, this is really worthwhile, especially if we can communicate a good health message.
Yeah.
So it makes you feel good that you're spreading good vibes and good health. So we'll do more of that if we can.
Wish you all the success.
Thank you ever so much.
Time flies, and it's time to say goodbye. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you so much for sharing, and you are a good assistant for Tom, I'm sure. And wish you a wonderful vacation here in Guangzhou.
Thank you.
And all the best for Tom. Thank
Elizabeth,
you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing so many important information. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Shia.
Good Chinese. Can you do that in Chinese, saying goodbye to our audience?
I can, yes. So now, so to the audience, Xie, 再见.
Good. Jessica, your Chinese is great. What would you like to say to our audience?
谢谢，再见.
She says it's
like father, like daughter. So great. Okay, until next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye, everybody. Bye.
，Guangzhou English Channel